Hello everybody, today southern fried chicken. On my diet it's not great because of the breadcrumb coating. That's where all the sins come from, that's what causes the impact on your weight loss. There's an alternative coating that's just as good, and you put the right set of herbs and spices with it and you have southern fried chicken. But change the herbs, change the spices, fish finger coating, in fact anything that has a breadcrumb coating. It's very simple. Couple of minutes worth of preparation work, and then the rest of it will be just leaving the oven to do its job. As I said, southern fried chicken, but it works for pretty much any meat you want to put a breadcrumb coating on, or fish to make fish fingers or pieces of fish. And when you think about it, a fish finger is 2 sins a piece on the plan I follow. A cod fillet is 10 sins in breadcrumb, and a chicken fillet is 7 sins. You know, that's a lot of your daily allowance gone very quickly on something like this, whereas this way avoids it if you use your healthy A, and even if you don't, it's a lot less in the way of sins. So the first thing you need, 1 egg. 1 egg will do 2 chicken breasts. If you want to do 4, make 4 fillets, you obviously need 2 eggs. Literally into a bowl, tiny bit of seasoning, and just beat it. Now, unlike with a breadcrumb coating or a flour coating where the flavourings go into the flour or the breadcrumbs, in this case the flavourings going in the egg. Because most of this egg is not going to end up on the chicken breast, you have to put in a bit more flavourings than you would normally do if you were doing this with breadcrumbs. So for my southern fried flavouring, I use teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of basil, and a level teaspoon of oregano. The other thing I use is cayenne pepper. If you're just making normal, you only really want a little bit more than a pinch, so 1/4 teaspoon if that. Because I like zinger burgers, rather zinger southern fried chicken more than I like southern fried chicken, I use a whole teaspoon of cayenne to give it that zinger sort of kick. And then literally we're just going to beat those herbs and spices into the egg mixture. And then we're going to put it to one side and let the spices infuse into the egg while we deal with making the crumb. Now, you can use a food processor for this, but it tends to make it too powdery, and then you get a coat, a caked shell rather than a crumb. Easiest, simplest way, you crumble it by hand. Takes a bit longer than doing it this way. I use pestle and mortar, and literally just break it into small pieces into the pestle. Or is it the mortar? Actually, I think it's the mortar. And there you go, breadcrumb coating. You need about 1.5 of these per chicken breast. I tend to grind up 2 to make sure that it's nicely coated. So I'll just grind up the second one now. And there we go, breadcrumb coating. Alright, now spices should have infused, so all we do, chicken breast, dunk it into the bowl, make sure it's all covered. And then we're just going to leave it like that for about 5 minutes or so to let the flavours soak in, and then we'll coat it. Okay, 5 minutes up. So, baking tray, oven preheated to 180, couple of squirts of fry light, bowl with our breadcrumbs, chicken and egg mixture. So literally, get the chicken out, into the breadcrumb mixture, and just roll it in there until it's coated. Nice and evenly. It's okay to rub a bit in if there's any gaps. Out and onto there. And there we go. So into the oven. That's going to take between 20 and 25 minutes depending on how thick the chicken breast is. So that particular breast quite thin, not really bulky, so I would say probably about 20 minutes. See you then. Alright, here we go. Southern fried chicken. With a nice breadcrumb coating.